everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays Prison Architect. You might be saying, what the heck is this prison? This is a new prison. This is also episode 1 of Let's Play Prison Architect Alpha 26. The new Prison Architect update came out. It was a bug bash, as expected, but one of the big bugs they fixed was no more of that dragging sound that oftentimes would come up, where it would just go like, as you moved your mouse across the screen. And I figured, hey, why don't we start a new prison as a result of that? I know some people were attached to the old prison, but I'd grown tired of it. There were some mistakes that I'd made that were very glaring, and I've probably overcompensated for those mistakes with our starting prison here. It sold for about $870,000. Which was roughly the valuation in the last episode anyway, I think, so you didn't miss much. All you missed was the planning phase here. I'll give you a quick tour, as we are now ready to get prisoners in here. One thing you'll notice, huge hallways. I overcompensated for the fact that I always build hallways that are way, way too small. So instead of having 1 tile wide hallways, we now have 3, sometimes even 6 tile wide hallways to aid and abet the prisoners as they move around. When we have a first couple of days here with 4 or 8 prisoners showing up, 16 prisoners showing up, no big deal. It's they're gonna have way too much space. Wide open space is room to make a big mistake. As we get more and more prisoners, considering we are planning on going with just this one huge canteen and kitchen, I think these big hallways are gonna be important. A shower room that's a little bit smaller relative to our old one. 2 fairly big cell blocks here. I mean, we've got a 50 capacity already. We don't even have any prisoners in. Oh, I meant to do something, by the way. Let's make a lot of money. Basic detention center. Boom, 10,000 bucks. Administration center. Boom, 10,000 bucks. Cell block A. Oh, so good. How about health and well-being? We're not actually done yet. Visitation rights. Bingo. That is another like 3,000 or something, or 30,000 I thought. Maybe it was only 10 though. Cell block B. Goodbye. Cell block C. Not quite yet. Staff well-being. In order to do that, we need to hire some more guards. Securities we're almost done with as well. Okay, so I'll tell you what. We'll get prisoner maintenance, or prison maintenance. And all we need to do in order to complete that one is hire a gardener. We'll hire 2 of them because we are going to want to have a forestry area going at some point. Acclimatization we'll do once we actually have prisoners in our prison. You know what? Why don't we try to knock out that nutrition one right off the bat here as well? I think we need acclimatization or health and well-being before we do that. I'm not sure, though. So health and well-being is one of the things that we're going to knock out here. Oh, my God. That was like the most violent sneeze I've had in years. And it happened to be in like the first minute of recording this. Well, cut. No, we don't need to cut. That's okay. So I'm thinking... that we're going to build another wing. We have so much capital. We can build so much money here. Or we can spend so much money to make our prison good. One thing I'm concerned about. We have solitary, decent common room, laundry, cleaning cupboard, a room here I'm not sure what... You know what? Why don't we just make that our infirmary? That's a relatively decent infirmary. Yeah, that would sort our grant situation out right away. And help us get on track for this to be our first $1 million prison. So yeah, that's me being an idiot. It doesn't have to be enormous right off the bat, but... I mean, I would like it if it were a little larger than it actually is. But we can still really cram it in there. And we'll hire 2 doctors as well. Basically, we can spend as much money as we want. We almost have the unlimited money cheat turned on. The fence around the area should work fine as well. But one thing you will notice is that I don't have a wing specifically for protective custody or maximum security. My thinking is, why don't we try to keep them all in the same prison? And as time goes on, I'll build, you know, expansions, and maybe we can designate some areas as maximum only. But I want to try to just manage it with regimes exclusively. No special stuff here, no special stuff here. Like the, what we got done last time with our own individual kind of wings for each kind of prisoner, it's a solution that worked out relatively well when there weren't murders happening, but at the same time, also was just kind of a lazy solution. I think we can do it a little bit more elegantly. And anytime I start to get to talking about elegance, it's a bad sign. But anyway, I would like to hire pretty much just like 10 guards right off the bat. There's 10 right there. And we'll set up some patrols here. Did we already find contraband? They just came in like 2 minutes ago. We should probably have a dog room as well. In fact, our cleaning cupboard probably doesn't need to be this big. We could put like a kennel or something in here. But we're going to build another wing anyway. I wanted to jump into things before we got too much done. So, what was I talking about a second ago? Oh, yes, patrols. So we definitely want 1 guard stationed outside, which apparently we can't do. So we'll set up a patrol instead. And we'll have 1 guard that patrols like this. I must not have doors set up properly here then. If I look, is there like fencing that doesn't make sense? Oh, you know what? I need like a fence here, and then we can do it. That'll be a much more reasonable solution. Put a fence here. We should probably have like a staff door so that our prisoners can't just wander around where our warden is. You know, sometimes they might want to fight him. But we do have the possibility to have like Alcoholics Anonymous basically in the psychologist room, or drug treatment in the psychologist room, or anger management in the psychologist room. I forget which one every time. All right, guards, one out here. Let's cancel our earlier patrol. We definitely don't need 2 on that. All right, that's fine. We want a few guards on patrol here in the canteen. Canteen is where shit usually pops off. I think 2 guards in there makes a lot of sense. I think having a guard kind of come around the cell blocks makes sense. Not too necessarily. I think having a guard in visitation makes sense. And then we're going to want to have 1 more guard patrol that comes around here. And we should still have 5 guards that have nothing to do, which is what we want. Like that. That should work. And let's see if we've completed that security one. Fantastic. What about governmental security ratings? Not quite. We'll see if we can assign our prisoners. I'm just trying to get all the grants out of the way so that we can actually worry about, you know, getting our prison started. Now, you may notice there's also a little bit less security in the form of, also, I want to see if we're at like 1 million already thanks to these grants. Not quite, 920,000. But yeah, I've got a little bit laxer security. The only issue I have is, or the only kind of security I have is like 12 or 15 metal detectors in our canteen, which also have enormous kind of spaces just so that people can get in and out easily. Why are prisoners mad? Some prisoners have serious complaints. Sleep. Oh, they always come in angry about a lack of sleep. Like, just get over it, man. You're in prison. All right, so we're going to build out a brick foundation, and I know that this is like a lazy way to do things. I'm going to build it out pretty much just like that. You know why? Because we can afford to. And it'll take a long time for this to build out. That's why I wanted to get it done right away. I'm going to build for capacity as soon as I possibly can. I want to get hundreds and hundreds of prisoners in here as soon as we can. And I want to see how it goes, because right now it's looking pretty good. Unless they pop off. I think I've got a pretty solid kind of setup going on. I should have done this before, but we need to dismantle these trees. They're always a little annoying. That might dismantle the light as well, but it's worth it to get the tree out of the situation. I don't have any problem with green, just not when it's making me green. Maybe okay, family, recreation. We have a huge visitation room and a huge common room area. Let's look at our regime here to start with. It's going to start a very simple sleep, lock up, shower. Now, okay, so we start with some free time. They wake up, 2 hours of free time, 1 hour of shower. It's a long shower, but we got plenty of hot water. 2 hours of eating. Then, sure, we'll have some lockup after that. Then, I think we can have some free time. Sure, why not 2 hours of yard and some eating time right here. Oh, no, that's... I mean, they do only need 2 meals a day, but this is a little ridiculous. So they eat at 9. They wake up at 6 but eat at 9. They might get a little hungry there. Let's think about this. Okay, so they eat, lock up. Normally we'd have work there. So why don't we put work there to begin with then? And then immediately after work they'll eat again. Then they'll have 2 hours of yard. 1 hour of free time. Could they eat again after that? Maybe 2 hours of free time. Then they eat again, lock up, and sleep. How many hours of sleep do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be good. My regime, you know, play is not necessarily the best. But that's okay. The reason I'm starting a new prison here, by the way, is because all you scumbags watched Michael A.L. Fox play and said, "Ooh, Michael A.L. Fox's prison is so good. The dude has a degree in urban planning." It's not a fair comparison. It's like, oh, you know, Jonas Salk, you're such a good doctor. You're a much better doctor than Northernlion. How is that fair? I don't know. Oh, Ariana Grande, you're a much better singer than Northern. I'm not trained in that. Come face me in The Binding of Isaac, anybody but BizSnap, Cobalt Streak, or the thousands of other talented speedrunners and racers, and we'll see what the heck happens. How you guys liking 60 FPS, by the way? You having a good time with that? I'm going to hire some more staff. I like it. There's some things I don't like about it that I'll readily admit. I don't think we need to hire more workmen. The janitors we need just because our prison's so big, but I don't like that it seems like unless you switch browsers, you can't watch videos in 30 FPS. I want to watch everything in 60, but if you only have a 30 hertz monitor, for some reason, I don't even know if they make those anymore, but if you only have that, or your processor is not so good, or your computer's old, or your internet connection's not so good, you have data caps, I think you should have the choice. That being said, I like that it just kind of works, which is, you know, I'm not just trying to shit on YouTube. A lot of times when new features roll out, it's like, this is a good idea, but it doesn't quite work in execution. This works in execution, which I'm excited about. I'll zoom right in, so, ooh, look at those sexy, sexy frames going by. You can see the bags under the doctor's eyes, tired from all the late nights pacing around the incredibly small infirmary. Of course we're letting more prisoners come in. Kind of my goal, and I haven't branded the series as such, because I don't know if it's actually going to turn out this way, but kind of my goal for this series is the idea that we could have intake on continuously and never have to turn it off. Which is actually why I'm just about to hire some more workmen here. I think if we hire some more workmen, and we start building super, super quickly, we have the kind of money where we can just sit on it and, or not sit on it, sorry, spend the crap out of it, and by spending the crap out of it, basically put in more than an average of like 12 cells per day. Now, there are going to be occasionally times when I'll probably want to pause, like when we want to build a new power station, which this one's already getting pretty close to the top, and yes, I did put my water pump station right next to it. I'm sorry. It's okay, though. This requires an entrance now. We require a sacrifice. I will just demolish this tiny wall here. We'll probably demolish that whole wall. No, we won't. Okay, just waiting for it to get filled up. They're going to take like 12 years to install lights here, which is also fine. We'll demolish the walls right along there. All right, then we'll start using our clone tool. Aren't you excited? If there's one thing I'm known for, it's definitely fantastic use of the clone tool. Well, we also have to get our electrical grid kind of set up here. I'm worried that this actual new cell block could push us over. I definitely hope it doesn't. But I've learned, and you're not going to believe me, a little bit of planning and perseverance can really help your clone tool go off without a hitch. By the way, I don't know if I'm putting way too many, oh, we just had new prisoners, so I gotta look at those. I don't know if we're putting in way too many wires. As usual, my philosophy, better safe than sorry for the most part. Here's our new prisoners. There's 9 of them? Oh no, that's a visitor that's wearing an orange shirt, okay. Paul Darley, nothing special, he's deadly. Kelly Kells Packard finally went off the deep end after buying hit. On Northernlion, I'm learning English. Finally went off the deep end after being hit by one too many red shells in that stupid racing game with the plumber. They say some nights you can still hear the victim's screams and Kelly softly mumbling bullshit as she tears them limb from limb. I can relate to that. David Bowery. He's an alligator. Following his dream to become a train driver, David was denied the opportunity at the last stage due to being too tall. He then attempted to gain illegal access to various trains in the vicinity to prove his ergonomics were sound. You don't fuck with a dude who's got a passion for trains. He will end you. He's got the diligence, the care, and the finances to do it. Nobody particularly special here. All right. We got Scott Redmond. Now all we need is Scott Methenman. Classic. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say that a little bit of planning can go a long way. Check it out, guys. Large pipes, not actually inside of the cells. How do you feel about that? Pretty good, right? So I'm going to build a large pipe up like here. That might be slightly overkill, but let's plan for how big a cell would be. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is this correct? I don't think so. No, we got to go one more up. So I'm planning for like a double cell block here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is fine. So this is going to be our double cell block. What we're going to do is have our piping adjacent here, as you can see. And then our toilets are going to run along these walls. So we want to get those toilets installed first. And then let's just do a little bit more planning so we can get this all done right away. We want to have 3 wide hallways here. I know people are going to be like, this is a waste of space. This is a waste of space. I know it's a waste of space, but at the same time, if it keeps our prisoners from murdering themselves, that's worth a hell of a lot more than having space in a lot of these situations. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now, it might not be the most efficient use of space, but I think it's still, it's got some value inherent. Better safe than sorry, right? Human life in and of itself is precious. Seriously, though. Alright, so is this is pretty good. I think we'll do one more set of, like, planning up here. So we want pathways 1, 2, 3 up here. And then the walls will go 1, 2, 3. Boop. 1, 2, 3. 4. Yeah, I think this is what we want, isn't it? I just want to make sure I'm putting the pipes in the right spot. Now, I could still be bunging this up miserably. And I've put the wall in the wrong location there. I apologize for all the time spent doing kind of like utility stuff here. But at the same time, if you're watching Prison Architect, isn't that what you want to see? You want to see a little bit of the min-maxing of the space here, hopefully? And check it out. I actually, by pure chance, built this in like a multiple of 3 tiles, so this works out fantastically for us. That is good luck, and you know what I'll say? I'll go further and say that that's a good omen. Maybe I'm actually learning here and this prison can run smoothly. If things start to go terribly, my expectation is that it's going to be because our inability to have multiple wings for like the same area. Or sorry, multiple wings for different levels of prisoners is what I mean. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen, of course. Now, we've built, we're going to use our clone tool and set up an F-ton of cells over here. Do we need this wall? Well, we'll use this wall, but we'll demolish these 3 over here. Because we do still have some rooms to set up. We still got an armory. We've still got kennel. Still got a security room to set up. We still got workshops. Those workshops probably do better when they're adjacent to the deliveries area. Not always, though. Yeah, I should have planned maybe to install a workshop, but we can just build like one really long workshop over here. Really? You're going to be the first prisoner to get solitary confinement. There you go. It was all fun and games until Richard J. had to totally F with everything. You can thank this guy for my inevitable heel turn coming soon. Let's see if he wants to be a confidential informant. Doesn't seem so. Found drugs. That's because we need a dog in our visitation room. Alright. So yeah, I know that a lot of people... Well, let's see what our needs are here. I know that a lot of people are going to be disappointed with the fact that the new alpha is... Oh, the alpha update, I should say, is just a bug bash. You know, it is what it is, right? It needs to happen. That's what I've been saying for a while. Some of the bugs were annoying. Object food waste appearing everywhere was a pain in the butt. That dragging sound was making the game not unplayable, but it was annoying to play sometimes. So yeah, I'm glad that they did it. And I don't want to sound like I'm not glad that they did it. But I am excited for the next alpha, which hopefully will contain a little bit more kind of flashy features, you know? So I'm going to hire like 5 more workmen. I actually went overboard and hired 7 more workmen. Hopefully, my assumption is that this will almost double the speed at which we're actually able to do our jobs here. And for now, we'll just keep watching our prison. I think the reason that the needs that they have seem a little inflated right now is because that new prisoners are such a high percentage of our actual total prisoners right now. So we have 16 prisoners. If 8 of them, well, only 4 of them seem to be like mad about sleep, but if they come in and they're unshowered and they're hungry and they haven't slept, that's going to make like half our prison angry, which I think is maybe one of the indicators that tells it that this thing's popping off, right? Or my prison could just be horribly built from the get-go, which is more fun maybe for everybody involved anyway. Prisoners having a good time. Oh, you know what? I probably should have a guard out there. And also, we should designate some areas as staff only. Warden's office is staff only. Foreman's office is staff only. Chief's office is staff only. Accountant's office is staff only. Staff room, staff only. That's about it for now. I don't want to make this staff only. Outside should obviously be considered staff only. What if... Can we get that grant going? That nutrition grant? I'd like to get it for once. What do we need for it? Well, we'll wait. I thought it was staff well-being. I thought I did that one, actually. Have 5 guards without assigned duties. An easy way to do this? Sure, okay, we have like 1 guard per prisoner right now. That'll change. We won't have to hire guards for a little while here. And it's going to be a little bit slow as we get ready to build all this stuff, but don't worry too much about that, baby girl. It's going to become a fully functional prison very soon. If we had 16 prisoners per episode, by the time we reach episode Well, I think we're going to add more than 16. Let's say we had 20 prisoners per episode. That's 200 prisoners by episode 10, which is pretty much where we were at like episode 30 almost. Well, we were like 34 or something of the last prison. You know, it's like Kanye West said in his famous jam with T-Pain, having money ain't everything, not having it is. The more money you have, the more quickly you can spend it, and the more quickly we can expand our prison. I would be very surprised if we can't get to 1 million here. I think we're almost at 1 million, so that's not even a question. I wouldn't be surprised if we can get this prison to 2 million. It seems like being able to double the value of a prison is roughly like the possible within like a month. Well, maybe not a month, because I spent 7 days at the start of it just setting up the prison to begin with. Wait, day 13? Oh, I spent like 12 days at the start of it setting up the prison. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Weirdly enough, you start with like a surplus of cash because you have to, otherwise you wouldn't be able to hire people and stay afloat. But I was like, I should just let this run for like a week and a half. Wouldn't that be fun? Come back to a prison that has like $1 trillion valuation just because you had the tenacity to leave your computer on. All right, so we're going to clone one cell at a time because that's all I trust myself to do. And it's just going to go like this. Now we have the left door on it. So we want to overlap our cells here. I've learned, and many people have told me this, thank you very much for this, you don't need the clone tool to omit walls. It will omit walls for you. You don't need to do it for it. So all of these cell blocks, and I deliberately planned it like this, should come with a money-back satisfaction guarantee. Sincerely, though, they all come with enough space to put solitary cells on the other side of them. Pretty clever, huh? And again, with the staggering amount of money that we have, I am pretty much just going to click and drag all this shit. It's going to make it hard for our prisoners to actually get inside of the prison, and that could start a riot, because we're going to look at the crazy amount of... Oh, no. Look at the crazy amount of supplies we got going on here. This is the danger of the clone tool. Call me crazy? You're crazy. No, seriously, though. I think you should be able to click and drag the clone tool. Now, the most impressive thing in my life that I've programmed is a trivia game in QBasic with about, I don't know, maybe 12 pre-programmed questions. So I'm not trying to say, what the heck did I do here? Okay, you know what? We'll sort that shit out when it comes to pass. I don't think I'm the right man for the job, to put it politely. But being able to click and drag the clone tool and have it just be like, sure, we'll take care of all of this area would be so nice and save you so much time. So that I didn't have to do this so often, but that's okay. Oh god, I placed it and I thought the world was going to end there. I think we had an autosave or something. This is going to, oh, you know what? It's because we got to let time tick by here. We might as well, you know, it's not like we have any shortage of duties for our workmen to do. This is like a $100,000 purchase right here. This might take us more than the next episode to actually finish, but we are pretty much installing like, oh good, we have prisoners coming in half an hour. This is pretty much going to be like an extra 100 capacity. Now, I don't think we're going to reach bankruptcy anytime soon, but I kind of feel like I'm obligated to hire a few more workmen here to get this job done. This is a big one. So we got 25 workmen already. Oh my god, our deliveries area is absurd. It's okay, though. As long as we don't have people popping off right off the bat. That's the most important thing. I know I should probably have like a road gate there. If I'm not going to have a road gate there, and I have to fence it off. Yeah, that's a little silly of me. So we'll fence this off up to the road gate, and we'll fence this off to this side here. Otherwise, people could just walk out. I didn't want to put a road gate down at the end because then a guard would have to walk all the way down there to make that come to fruition, and I think that's a terrible idea. Yeah, okay, so our piping should work here. We'll let this go a little longer. We've almost got one block built. We have 67 capacity. We're going to be well over 100 by the time we even finish this episode. Is this canteen big enough? I think once we start cramming it really, really deep in here, we totally can. You can use that for your, you know, Ryan's phone sex diaries or something like that. Oh, yeah, baby. Put a finger in my Twinkie hole. I don't know what... There's any hole could be a Twinkie hole if you put your mind to it. Sorry, yeah, we couldn't accept any more prisoners today. We had a box of 150 toilets that took an hour and a half to get off the trucks, and after that, all my staff were exhausted. How can you, like, no offense, accountants, if you're out there, you do a great job. You do a great service. I'm happy you exist. But come on, how exhausted can you be? All you do is kind of, like, walk around in your office here. We got 25, strong young pups here building this building with their bare effing hands. The accountant hasn't done shit since, they saved us millions of dollars in offshore tax stuff. I didn't take a look at this, but yeah, I've filled out the tech tree. I know some people are going to complain, and it's not invalid complaints. Sometimes I say, some people are going to complain, and then I'm like, I make a funny voice and go, blah, 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 aren't those people silly? This isn't one of those times, and I feel like an asshole every time I do that, and I think about it. I'm going to try not to. It's a bad habit. It's too easy to fall into, and I apologize. But, I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's a shame you didn't, show the planning and building of the prison on camera. You didn't want to see it, I promise you. It was an hour and a half of me using the planning tool and then being like, oh, I made one mistake too, the tiles are one off or something like that. And even still, you can see the remnants of that. Like, our visitation room looks kind of weird, and we have huge hallways. Like, I didn't want to make 5 or 6 tile wide hallways, but it just, I didn't stretch the canteen far out, or out far enough, and yada yada. So we'll let this episode go. It's still a work in progress, and it's going to be a work in progress for a while, just because I am building so much. And I think that's a good thing. We're going to have 100 capacity basically by the end of the first episode, which is what I'm going to wait for here. Once we get to 100 cells, I'll take that grant, take the cash, and we'll look at our valuation, which is going to be pretty close to $1 million in our first episode here. The more money you have, the easier it is to make a certain percentage of it. Oh, come on, dude. Just walk around for now. You know what? I'll tell you what. What is this thing? This black bar down here. We should install... Maybe we shouldn't, but I'm going to install a staff door here in the hopes that our workers will more readily understand how to get out of this area. Because right now, I don't necessarily fully trust them to do so. Similarly, we should probably have a staff door installed here. But anyway, I have faith that our workers will eventually figure this out. Yeah, okay, good. Just a little bit longer and we'll be able to finish this one. Why are you not getting water? Pipes are too long. Okay, we can fix that. What we do is we build like this. And like this. And like this. And they still are going to have a hard time tunneling out. Now, it's going to take us a couple of days here, probably in-game days, I should say, to get our water situation sorted. Oh, these guys are going to be pissed, man. I know we have a big intake day coming, but we should probably close this for today. I'm a little scared about how these prisoners are going to react when they get in. I want to start things off on the right foot. If we could have, a few weeks go by without a riot or murder, that would be awesome. Similarly, we should, to speed things up a little bit here, we should probably put some guard patrols up in this area. This way, even after those... Oh, that's going to be a wall. Yeah, my bad. Even after these jail doors get installed, our workmen will be readily, or relatively, I should say, able to get around here. Alright. And we're losing money on a daily basis. That's something that I would expect to shift in our favor pretty soon. Okay, just finish these cells up, my friend, and then we'll be able to move on with our lives. Start episode 2. I do have to say, by the way, thank you for the incredible support you guys have shown the series. It means a lot to me that you guys have continued to watch it and give me tips and say, hey, this is bizarre that I'm liking this game as much as I am because you don't ever do anything and you're kind of bad at it, but it's relaxing to watch. And you know what? That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. If you get relaxed from watching it, I find it a pretty meditative experience to play it as well. That's why I'm still playing it. And I thought for a second, I was like, well, if I want to jump ship on Prison Architect, Alpha 26 is the right time, because nothing exciting... I forgot we had to build some walls in... Oh, no, they're still queued. Nothing exciting was happening in this update, so I was like, I could take a month off from Prison Architect and maybe play other stuff, and then I realized, this is kind of sweet if I was saying this to my wife. There's nothing else I want to play. Yeah, I'm having a good time with Prison Architect, and all I could think about was, hey, those bug fixes are not necessarily glamorous, but I'm glad that they happened regardless. So they are installing the pipes already, which, I'm happy about, but at the same time, I do kind of wish that they would get the the rest of the nonsense done. And by nonsense, I mean, you know, all-important wall and toilet installations so that we can actually start talking about getting this grant. You know, there's not a whole lot of Prison Architect episodes on YouTube probably where you end up hitting 100 prisoner capacity in the first episode. So even though it might not be the best approach, we might be growing a little big for our britches quickly here, I'm excited about it regardless because I think it's big plays, basically. So many of these cells are like one thing away from completion that for some reason is just not getting done. Like, they walk into here with a bed, and then they go, no, this isn't my cell. I'll install the bed in the other one. Come on, 94. Like, yeah, so many cells are one toilet or, like, one back wall away from completion. Are we actually getting our prisoners inside here? Oh, we took too many of them in, and I didn't even look to sort them. It was an accident, and I apologize for it. Didn't see any special ones there. Please just do me a favor and don't move prisoners into the cells that are feature complete, except for the fact that they don't have running water. That's one of the things prisoners tend to get a little ornery about. No running water is one of those things that, you know, basic human right according to the United Nations, maybe. Alright, there's 100 prisoners, so let's do the scummiest thing of all time. Hey, government, we need money to make our cells. And we did it. Thank you very much. So that pretty much paid for the, well, it didn't quite pay for the cell block, but it did okay. Takes us up to 970,000. Look at this. Just install like a couple of walls here. You'll be fine. Anyway, we'll get that sorted out in the next episode. As for right now, thanks for watching. I totally forgot to mention, by the way, this is not the starting map. I bought 2 pieces of land here to help us expand. One on this side and one on the top, which is what we're expanding to the brim of right now. But for now, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, it's the start of a new pseudo-series, sort of. Click the like button. It helps out a great deal. We're going to be running this prison, barring any kind of incredible incident, until Alpha 27 comes out, which should happen near the end of November, if not early December. So yeah, we're in it for the long haul. Another month in a new prison. Learn some new faces, emerging gameplay. Your support means the world to me. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button, and of course subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.